Hi everybody, it's Abby. Welcome back to my astrology channel. So I'm going backwards and I'm doing progressed moon in Libra. And the honest reason is because I didn't write any blog posts for progressed moon in Capricorn through Pisces. So I'm going to go backwards instead. So just to recap what progressions are, I will put a link below for a video on progressions and a blog post, but progressions are your natal chart sped up one day for every year you've been alive. So if you look at your chart when you're 30 years old, your progress chart, it is the same as the sky was 30 days after you were born. And the whole concept is that the macro equals the micro. So it is a reflection. And what progressions tell you are what you are doing with your natal potential in real time. So if you look at your progressed sun, it takes 30 years to change signs, just like the sun takes 30 days to change signs. And the progressed moon is the fastest mover. It takes 2.5 years to change signs. What it represents is your progressed, evolving needs and relationships. What the progressed moon is going to show you is how you're feeling on the inside, so your general emotional climate for about a 2.5 year period. But on the outside of your life, it's going to be reflected in your relationships because that is how you're going to see your inner needs and emotions reflected in the outer world. So if you have progressed moon going into Libra, then you've just gotten out of progressed moon in Virgo. And that was a time where you worked really hard. You were probably a bit more introverted. You were really focused on perfection, and there's something very servitude-like about Virgo. So when you go into Libra, you become way more social. So relationships are key to you at this point in time, specifically partnerships. You've been working on yourself, and now you're ready to kind of take your new, Virgo'd out, evolved self and try it out in relationships and see what you're doing. The other major component of having your progressed moon go into Libra is that balance becomes everything to you. When your moon was in Virgo, you were working for somebody else. You're somehow in a position where you are doing all this stuff, but it's not like you're at the top. You're kind of in the lower ranks. If you're in a relationship, you could have just been the one doing more work for the last couple years, or you might have felt like you were doing a lot of work. And then when your moon goes into Libra, you're like, we need to balance this out because I am not going to be the only one putting in the work anymore. You really need harmonious relationships, so you're not going to want to fight. This is really important when your progressed moon is in Libra. You don't want to rock the boat. You want everything to be just peaceful and serene, because don't forget that Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the peaceful planet. It's the planet of love and romance. So it doesn't like fighting. That's Mars. That's the opposite of what Venus is about. So you're going to want balance in every aspect of your life. But the thing that happens with Libra is if anything is out of balance, then Libra's the scales, right? So in order to balance, sometimes you have to swing left and right. And that's why Libra can be a little bit bipolar. They can also kind of project any ugliness within themselves onto other people. So the way Libra works is it only can understand itself through its own reflection in the eyes of someone else. They have to look and see how other people see them almost to understand themselves. You're going to be learning more about yourself through your partnerships, not necessarily just your romantic partnerships, but all of your partnerships. And that includes business. And this is a great time to get involved in a business partnership. It's also a great time to get involved in legal partnerships. So if you are getting married, it's a good time for it. So even though you're all about equality right now, this is not a deep sign. You're not going to get into anything really deep until your moon progresses into Scorpio. This is a superficial sign. Libra is an air sign. Air is about, conceptual. It's about the brain. It's about logic. And Libra specifically is a little bit more emotional than the other two air signs, but very superficial. So really, everything looks okay, then it is okay according to Libra, which is a dangerous game to play. And that's why when your progressed moon goes into Scorpio, that's when the shit hits the fan usually, especially if you're in a relationship where things are only surface good. And that actually happened to me. When I had my progressed moon in Libra, I was with my boyfriend. We had been together for a while, but I remember the final year that we kind of gave it one last shot. Years later, we had a conversation about what was going on in the relationship in the last year that we tried. So this was like almost 5 years ago now. And we had completely different ideas about what was going on that year. So I thought we were giving it like a real serious commitment, real last try to be adults and have a committed relationship. And he had no such ideas. As soon as my progressed moon hit Scorpio, everything fell apart. The whole relationship ended and it ended forever. That's like the kind of warning, but you kind of have to go through this phase. And it's not to say that your relationship is going to crumble when your progressed moon goes into Scorpio. If it's a solid relationship, it's just going to get more intimate. But when your progressed moon is in Libra, appearances are everything. So kind of keep that in mind when your moon is in Libra, that even though you're trying to avoid confrontation at this time, sometimes it's good to have a conversation, and this is a great time. You'll have the level-headedness during this progression to have conversations without them getting emotionally heated. But just be aware of some of the negative things that happen with Libra. So one is codependency. That's a huge Libra issue. The inability to do anything alone. The inability to make decisions, or to make decisions alone. Oftentimes a Libra energy is to play devil's advocate when trying to make a decision. So like they'll bounce things off of other people, but they'll keep arguing the opposite point, and it can get really annoying for everyone around them. Passive aggressiveness. So that's when you actually get angry, but you don't want to rock the boat. So it starts to come out in different ways, or you start to pick fights about things that don't really matter because you're angry about a different issue. Something else that's going to be a priority to you during this lunar progression is your looks, because this is a Venus ruled sign. So this is a great time to upgrade your look. That superficial element of Libra is helpful when you're dealing with your appearance. It's a perfect time to, think about your body, think about your beauty regime, your skincare. You're also going to be a lot more tactful during this time, really refining your own ability to be pleasant, socially conscious. A great time to practice your back and forth with people, flirting, conversation, just learning how to be more gracious, work on things like that. Because all of that is kind of what smooths out social interactions. Being an Aries, I'm terrible at that stuff. Like I'm a quadruple Aries, so I've had to learn a lot throughout my life about how to not be completely awkward and blunt and rude to people when I'm conversing with them one-to-one. So progressed moon in Libra is a great opportunity for that, especially if you don't have a lot of air in your chart. It's like a perfect time to really practice those skills, because don't forget that progressions are accumulative. So you're not going to just forget everything that you were working on when your moon progresses into another sign. You're going to have those skills for life. So that's progressed moon in Libra. If you guys have any questions or comments, or you want to talk about your experience, leave a comment below. Just so you know, I am doing readings again. They are video format now. So what happens is you get a reading and I put it on an unlisted YouTube video, and it's yours for life. You can watch it as many times as you want, and you can share it with your friends if you want. We'll leave a link in the box below to my booking page on my website, and if you have any questions about it, just email me. Thanks for watching. Bye.